All right, guys. Our next guest is a man who basically does it all. He's the number 2 ranked middleweight in the world, a former UFC and Strikeforce champion, a skater, a surfer, an entrepreneur, a model, and a man who's on a mission and hungry to reclaim the belt and hold gold again. Possibly most importantly, he's a friend of the program. Luke Rockhold, welcome back to Submission Radio.
What's up, boys? How's it going?
It's very good. It's very good. We appreciate you taking the time. And paint the picture for us, Luke. Where are you joining us from at the moment? Because, I mean, it just seems that usually when we talk to you, you're in some kind of locations near a beach, probably a surfboard, and maybe even a couple of beautiful women.
I'm home at the moment. Just trying to get some training in here and get some things together. Get ready to prep myself for a training camp. So I might squeeze in one little vacation before I go. So, but for now, I'm stuck in Santa Cruz.
I feel like you could have lied to us, Luke, and we would have totally brought it up. I'm in Monte Carlo. I've got a couple of ladies here, and I don't need to train because the ladies are going to keep me sharp. Something like that,
I've been working for it, but I'm not gonna lie and act like I don't have a flight to Cabo on Thursday.
Oh wow, there you go. Very nice, very nice. Cabo is always beautiful. Now you mentioned you're basically in training camp. We see you're on Instagram. You're hungry and you're training. The big question is, how is the knee? What's the update with the knee recovery? And can you give us the news that we've been eagerly waiting for the last few months? Every time we speak to you, are you now 100% able to train at 100% intensity? Is the knee back?
If you want to go to my Instagram and look at my story, I just posted last night. I was just ripping my left kick and feeling nothing really. This last week was the real first week I started throwing kicks, inside leg kicks, getting checked, and nothing really came back on me. So I'm 100% ready. I'm hungry, and July 8th is my date. And so now it's just finding the right dance partner.
I mean,
how about Bobby Knuckles? How about Bobby Knuckles, man? The boy's looking good. Ozzy's got something to believe in right now. He's looking fresh, looking tight, and I think we make a lot of sense right now. The kid wants to get his title shot. There's a long list of guys in line right now, and I'm looking to get back at it. So I don't see anything better. I appreciate the competition, and I like what the kid's done, and I want to test him. I want to test myself and get back at it.
And what about this? He's on this actual program he was on earlier as well. So you guys are on the same show. I'm sure he'll hear what you have to say. So talk to us a little bit about your thoughts on his win over Jacare. I mean, it was a super, super impressive win. Most of the world didn't really expect it to happen. They didn't really know much about Robert Whittaker. What was your reaction when you saw how the fight played out?
Man, I've seen Robert. He's tough. He's got heavy hands. He's quick in and out. I thought he would chew Jacare up on the feet if it got stuck there. I just didn't think it would get stuck there. Question mark was, how good is his takedown defense? And, when he got to the ground, he was very tight, calm, composed, and got his ass up. So, man, I got nothing bad to say about the kid. He's looking really solid and he's growing everywhere. Seems like he's getting better everywhere, and he's a real deal. So, I was impressed.
You know what's crazy? I still remember, this was in 2014 in September. There was that press conference before your first fight against Michael Bisping in Sydney, and it was obviously yourself, Michael Bisping, and then Robert Whittaker sitting right at the end of the press conference table, making his middleweight debut. Nobody really expected much. I mean, at that point, did you sort of expect him to sort of be up there, with the top guys like yourself and everybody at the lead and beating guys like Jacare? And did you ever expect that you would be in a position where, you're calling him out?
I've been looking for a fight between all these guys. I'm not necessarily calling them out. This is we're running out of opponents. Anderson Silva declined to fight. Other guys are obviously out of the mix. Yoel's waiting for an interim title or the real title, and I need to reestablish myself, and he looked good. So I kept my eye on Robert after that night. After that night, not before, but after.
Wow.
When he beat, I forget who it was that night,
Clint
but
Hester.
he looked. I didn't. Clint Hester, yeah. He looked sharp. I was in the back getting ready for my fight, and I seen him do his thing. So, and then the fights to follow that. The kids look good. He's been the top prospect around, other than the people that have been around for some time. So, I've been watching him, and he's coming along nicely.
So I'm wondering with that Anderson Silva fight, Luke. I mean, how exactly did he deny the fight? Was he offered the fight officially? Did he explain why he didn't want to fight you? Did you get much closure on why the fight never happened?
I don't think Anderson likes the matchup. Yeah, I don't know. They offered me the fight. It was way before my projected date, when I would be ready. But, the fight with Anderson, it seemed fun at the time, and go down to Rio and do it. So I was up for it. I think he's looking for other routes. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. I don't know if he's trying to, get favorable matchups. I think he thinks he matches up well with the likes of Kelvin Gastelum for some reason. And I think he's trying to put himself in a line where he could potentially leapfrog us and jump for a title. And so, if he wants to get back in there and fight for the title, if he wants to fight the guys, fight the guys, fight the top guys. This isn't the Legends League. If you want to fight in the UFC, I think, at the top of the game when you're ranked like that, you should fight, the best guys out there. And the UFC wanted it, Dana wanted it, everyone wanted it, Anderson declined it.
So just to confirm, UFC 212, is it 100% closed? It's definitely not happening, and that's why you're moving on to July 8th? Or is there still a tiny chance that maybe in the last minute this fight somehow might come together?
No, it's 100% over. I don't know what Anderson's not about it. He made an excuse saying I'm coming off a loss and he's coming off a win, but if you look at his record, he's 1-4-1, and in his last 6 fights, whatever it is, and his win is questionable. So I don't know where he's justifying that case is kind of, I don't really understand that justification. So I'm coming off a title loss and going 5-1 against the best guys in the world. So yeah, good luck with that one. But we're moving on. We're moving on to 213, and we're trying to find a contender. Somebody who's up there, somebody who wants to get dirty and get back to that title, and that's what I want.
Oh, yeah. Dirty at 213. We love it. And we want to talk about that matchup with Rob. Just quickly, is it another case of disappointment with sort of first the Michael Bisping GSP thing with a title shot, and now Anderson Silva? I mean, you've wanted to sort of fight him for a while, and then he knocks back the fight. Is it kind of getting a little bit frustrating from you from the sense that, you have some older people in the division sort of picking and choosing their fights and not really fighting the fights that are there?
Of course. That's all I said. It's straight up. If you're going to fight in the UFC, you got to fight the people that are contenders. If you're looking to be a contender, if you're looking to fight, at the top of the game, or you can go, you and Vitor Belfort can go start a Legends League. That's fair. This is the game. This is the game. Fight it. Fight if you want to fight. Especially when they offer you a fight to fill in. So I don't know. That's my opinion.
And I mean, you're essentially calling out the guy that beat the guy that you were originally supposed to fight in Jacare. So, I mean, you're essentially looking for sort of the stiffest test. But from what you've seen of Rob now that you've had a long time to sort of, I guess, soak in his skills, see what he's about, how do you see yourself beating Rob? What do you think the key and I guess the success is to sort of do what no one's been able to do at middleweight yet?
To do my thing, not get over aggressive, fight the way I need to fight, like what got me to the title and what won me the title. I'm a use my length, use my skills, and every asset I got. So Rob's good, but I know I match up well with anybody in this game, and I know I can pick off anybody. I still believe I'm the best guy out there, and so I'm ready to go prove it against one of the best up and coming kids.
And obviously your stand-up's phenomenal. You've terrorized a lot of people with that. But I guess with Rob, one of the sort of still question marks, even though Jacare wasn't able to really, get him down to the ground, your wrestling's phenomenal. Your jiu-jitsu is probably underrated, but you've had an incredible amount of success with it. Is that something that you also sort of see as like a very good key to victory in that sense, and sort of potentially expose Rob's maybe, what's the word I'm looking for? Potentially inexperience on the ground?
I never force takedowns. I'm in there to fight. I take what presents itself. If Rob falls on the ground, maybe I'll take it there. But that's nothing I'm looking forward pushing in this fight. I'm very comfortable in my range, my distance, my kicks. It's something that's going to be hard for Rob to get through to. So, I got my game on the feet, and I got my game. I know I have a large advantage on the ground. He's sharp. He's fast. He's in and out. I like where he's at. You know, I've watched the kid, I've studied the kid, and I want to go out there and I want to challenge, and I want to test this kid too. So, I mean, who else is there right now? Yoel's waiting for the belt. We're on hold waiting for GSP and Bisping. I mean, how long is this kid going to wait? And I don't want to wait any longer. I want to put myself in line to fight for the title.
I mean, a couple of names sticking around in the back of my head is Gegard Mousasi and Fabricio Werdum, of all people, who you've sort of spoken about in the past. I just want to speak about Mousasi, though. Obviously, the fight with Weidman.
Gegard just lost to Jacare, so you know, I'm going for the best of the best. That's my opinion on it.
So if you had to choose between Mousasi and Werdum, would you probably even say you might even have a fun fight with Werdum instead?
Yes. Werdum's you know, I'm tired of people talking. If you're going to run your mouth, talk about it, you know, and talk about grappling matches. You know, fuck off. If you want to fucking do it for real, let's fight.
I've always,
you know, I told him straight up, I'd move up to heavyweight and I'd fight him. I'd fight heavyweights every day in the gym. I know where I stand with the best heavyweights in the world, you know, and I know what I'm capable of. And, you know, I'm not just running my mouth when I say this. I'll move up to heavyweight and I'll fight him. He thinks he's in line for a title, which is complete bullshit. The last thing the UFC wants is him fighting for a title.
Well, the unfortunate thing is he sort of, you know, shot down that idea. His words was, "I only fight people, I don't fight chickens." I'm just curious why he doesn't want to settle this beef with you. And I'm also wondering, because you guys have had sort of slight digs over the years, but how did this rivalry actually begin? What exactly happened in Strikeforce? And do you remember the moment or incident when the two of you sort of, I guess, realized that you weren't each other's biggest fans?
He's just it was very disrespectful. He's just a completely disrespectful human being. I mean, he's pretty much a slime ball. I'm over the guy. He ran his mouth and called me disrespectful when he was completely out of line, and for years to come. So, settle it. You know, I don't know. I mean, you want to talk about a chicken? You're talking about a middleweight coming up to fight you at heavyweight, and that you declined that the UFC was into, and so, you know, who's the chicken?
And I mean, if that fight did come together, and by the way, I think, you know, that would be a really fun fight to watch. What kind of weight would you see yourself? Let's say it did happen. Would you sort of, what kind of weight would you be fighting at? I suppose. What's your walking around weight? Would you be at walking around weight? Would you put on some muscle for the matchup? How would you approach it?
I wouldn't cut any weight, I'll tell you that. But I'd be in shape. I'd be my weight. I don't know, maybe 210. A little bit of you know, lifting. Not really though. Just, I'm not a big weightlifter, but I'd eat well and I'd train hard, and I might bulk up a little bit, but you know, I wouldn't be more than 210, 212 probably.
Wow.
Werdum's not a big wrestler. It's not something I got to worry about muscle wise. You know, it's speed, it's quickness, and you know, I use my athleticism. He can't take me down. If he tries, he's going to find himself in more trouble. So I'd pick him off on the outside and do my thing.
Wow, that would be a crazy matchup if it happened, and something that would be very fun to watch. Now, going back to your division, you mentioned Yoel Romero. He's sort of waiting for that title shot. Are you a little bit surprised this whole GSP Bisping fight? There's still no date. It's still not set. Are you a little bit baffled that this thing's sort of been drawn out for so long?
Yeah, it all comes down to GSP. I think he chose the fight, and they want a big fight, and so he somehow is dragging this thing on. You know, you wonder how long they can, you know, hold the division hostage for a guy like GSP. I think there's other fights they can make, so they need to get on with it. I heard from a very reliable source GSP's not fighting until September, so it'd be a joke if they held that off until September. I think they're better off booking and making Bisping fight Yoel Romero, and then we can get on with this thing and get this division right. We're back where it needs to be.
Yeah, certainly. And I mean, are you a fan of this interim title sort of coming in and you guys going on about your business while this whole thing gets figured out?
I am. I'm a fan of it. You know, an interim title, is people wanted to run their mouth and say what they will about an interim title, is a guarantee at a title shot. You know, you put yourself in line. It's like if they're going to hold everything hostage the way they are, and with no telling what's going to happen with the winners, these guys, you know, they win a fight. You never know what they're going to say. What was GSP going to do when he holds the title? Was he going to going to want to fight Conor McGregor for the middleweight title. I mean, come on. It's just they don't exactly understand what can happen, after these fights. Bisping, if he's trying to flex as much as he is now, what happens if he beats, GSP? He's not going to want to fight a contender now. So, I mean, the best fight the best. That's what made this company what it is. They need to get back to it.
So just to confirm, so if you do, let's say you and Robert Whittaker, let's say you get matched up July 8th, you want the interim title to be a factor. You want that to be what you're fighting for in your next fight. Is that correct?
No, not necessarily. I think it's. I mean, with a Yoel in the mix too, it's tough. They're, gauging them. They're not going to do it. I know what's going on in the back end and what's going through, and they're not going to do it. But I'm very confident. Going out there and beating a Robert Whittaker, puts myself. I mean, Yoel can wait as long as he wants. He beat, he beat a broken Weidman already. So going in there and taking a top contender, I think it says even more than what the guy's done.
Do you still have any hope that maybe you do get matched?
Split decision. What's that?
I was going to say, do you still have any hope that you might get matched up against Yoel Romero? Because obviously you're in a position where you're essentially calling out everybody in the division. You just want a big fight. You want a fight that will get you there. Romero seems keen on waiting, but is there a possibility, do you think, that maybe you do get Romero and somehow he can be coaxed into fighting you as opposed to waiting?
Romero wants that interim title. I know that for a fact. And he's not going to fight anybody else. So if that comes to be, I'd gladly fight Yoel. That's 1 and 2. 1 and 2 should fight for it. If that's the case, champion should fight 1, but if 1 and 2 are fighting, it should be an interim title. I guarantee that we're going to fight for the title next.
Yeah, I mean, and that would be amazing. But nevertheless, I mean, the date that you focused on is July 8th. I'm just curious, are you flexible with that date? If the UFC say, oh, Luke, we want you to fight before or after that date. If they somehow could figure out some kind of other matchups, would you be open to it? Or is July 8th now the date that you kind of set on at the moment with your recovery and your knee feeling great? That is the time that you'll need to really, bring out the best Luke Rockhold in training camp for the next fight.
At this point, I like the stage. It's the biggest stage, in the game, Las Vegas International Fight Week. I'm going to come back in a big way, and that's the, that stage to do it on. So, that is ideal. If there's a later date, I could be open to it depending on circumstances. But that's what I'm looking at right now. But we'll see. If the stakes are high enough in close enough proximity, I could push back a little bit. But I don't feel anything sooner really at this point.
Luke, we really appreciate the time you're giving us. We're going to let you go in just a moment. Before we do let you go, there's something we wanted to ask you last.
We gotta hurry up, boys. We gotta hurry up. Nick's in his heat right now. I gotta watch this.
Oh man, we do apologize. 2 questions we're completely out of your hair. Now, you've made it clear how important it is for you to get that rematch with Michael Bisping so you can close that chapter. Considering that he won the last one, are you concerned that he might not take another fight with you so he can essentially close out the end of his career without risking losing that trilogy?
Yeah, it's something I can't comment on. So we'll see. We'll see when the time comes. But like the man that he is, he will stand up and be that guy. But he hasn't proven it thus far. So it'd be nice to get. I'm not gonna hold on to it.
Certainly. And Luke, I mean, we really appreciate time. Thank you so much for coming onto the program. It's exciting. We're excited to see what's next. Hopefully these matchups come together. Luke Rockhold versus Robert Whittaker. Yes, please sign me up, guys. Make sure to follow Luke Rockhold on Twitter at Luke Rockhold. And when he's not hanging out with beautiful women and is in exotic locations, he is training like a mofo, getting ready for July 8th. So we can't wait to see what happens. Luke, thanks again for coming onto the program.
Thanks, guys. Like always. I'll check you out soon.